Welcome to the OFX podcast. I'm Dave Claxton. Along with me is the reckless ruck wrecker, Bethany McChesney, who maliciously destroyed my wife's ruck this weekend. What do you have to
Oh,
say for yourself, Bethany?
it was a weekend for me. I know I wrecked your ruck and then I accidentally stole Chelsea's scrunchie and
Oh, did
like, oh my gosh.
you? How did you steal Chelsea's scrunchie?
Well, okay. All right, girls, you understand this. I had a really loose hair elastic, and as I was warming up, I could not get it tight enough, and my ponytail was like not holding. And when I race, I'm like a really tight ponytail. I don't want it flopping. And I didn't have an extra hair elastic on my wrist, which is like a big race no-no. And so I ran up to Chelsea. I'm like, "Do you have an extra hair elastic? My elastic is too loose, and my ponytail is floppy." And so she had one of those really awesome strong
Mhm.
band scrunchies, which you can make extra tight. And she's like, "Take my scrunchie, it's awesome." So I wore her scrunchie in the race, and it was awesome, by the way. And if anyone has a connection with strong band scrunchies, I would love a sponsorship. And then we had to fly out after the race, and I forgot to give her back her scrunchie, and
It's
I
funny
felt really
because
bad.
Chelsea's the kind of person that, like, if you had said, "I need a shoe," she'd have gave you her left shoe and just run without it.
I know, I
Like
know.
she's just superstar.
I
Um,
am shipping her some to make up for it though, but
all right, there you
I
go.
felt
There
pretty
you go.
bad. And I was like, "Oh,
So
and I broke Dave's ruck."
you didn't break. You broke Riley's ruck.
Riley's ruck. I just flew in and made a mess and then left.
So okay, and the ruck obviously the ruck was you were doing like the sit ups with it,
Yeah. And
and
the
the
buckle
buckle
hit the
just went
ground.
under and cracked the plastic buckle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna reach out to that company and say, dude, make steel buckles.
And it literally just it hit the ground like and exploded. So I
Yeah.
mean, for for a piece of equipment that's meant to be done like it's a pretty rough piece of equipment and the buckle just like exploded when it hit the ground.
Well, to no one's surprise, I bought the cheapest ruck possible.
Okay, fair.
yeah,
But still.
yeah. Anyway, it was funny, but so we might as well go right there. You did, and this was to my surprise. You jumped in there and ran a ruck mile for some inexplicable reason.
I don't know. Well, it was like a late night the night before decision.
Were you drinking?
Well, because like I have a hard time going to a race and not racing, period. But I'm really, really not mentally prepared to do a mile. Just with the gym renos and everything, like training's been really sketchy over the 3 weeks before. So I'm like, I don't want to show up and then just feel terrible and you know, so I was like, I'm gonna do a rec. That'll be fun. So I'll get a good workout in. So yeah, I decided the night before.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
And let's put it out there. You set the number two time, like not there, the
Yeah.
number two time on the leaderboard this year. So you set it
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, you know
And
what? It's funny because um although I don't train ruck, I literally in university ran to school every day with my backpack. And because it was a way that I could get in like sneaky mileage, because I was one of those athletes that like didn't listen to the coach very well. So I'm like, it's like 4K to school, 4K back. It's like 8K every day running with my backpack that the coach can't get mad at me for sneaking in because it's how I get to school. So I did a lot of mileage running with my backpack.
you're running too much. No, I'm commuting.
Yes, it's faster than going to the bus stop and taking the bus.
That's crazy. No, but you looked really, I mean, I sadly didn't get a chance to see the whole race, but I got to catch glimpses off and on, and you looked really comfortable with it. Other than, I think again, your choice of shirt was probably not a wise choice, wearing the crop top.
Or
We
not.
told you
Yeah.
you should wear a long shirt.
Okay, and I also, again, I'm blaming everything on the gym rows. I am so behind in laundry. I tried to find like a dry fit t-shirt and I couldn't find any. So I'm like, screw it. You're just gonna chase.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like running the whole time, you're like one hand on the strap, I look
Well,
like
the
trying to keep it
buckle
off.
was taking it. I know it was floppy and oh well, it's
In
fine.
fairness, it was very hard to adjust. Like this ruck was made for adults, so to make it fit you was not going very well.
No, no. Yeah, we had to find a child size ruck and then
Yeah, and like even to like when I brought home, like I had to untie a knot in one of the straps so you could shorten it. And when you first come down to run, and I'm like, why is it so loose on you? And you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, you have to tighten these straps too. Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that because I would have been really bruised if I left
Oh,
it
that
that
would have
floppy.
pounding on the shoulders would have
Oh
been
yeah,
immense.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. And so sticking with the ruck thing, I
Mhm.
did a ruck later on and in the complete opposite vein. So me and John Cross were later in the day, actually on the Sunday, later on the Sunday. And I did 4 races on the weekend. So I did 4 different races. So I'll go through kind of touching all of them. But this one here was the ruck with John, and it might have been my favorite one because we decided we're just going to go to get our patch, which by the way, we all get patches. They just haven't come from Spartan yet, apparently. But
Like a ruck patch.
yeah, you get a little ruck patch that says Deca Mile Ruck.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I should maybe get
So
a ruck then.
yeah, stop stealing everybody else's stuff. So we go out there and we're like, okay, let's just not running a relay or a team. Let's just run side by side like you would a fun trail run with a buddy. We'll just go and we'll have a good time, right? No, we don't care what our time is. We're really just goofing off. We ran our first lap, right? Our first thing. We came in and like instantly, this is how this thing starts. We run by and I kind of run just ahead of John and he goes to where he's getting ready to lunge and I knock over his ram so it rolls away from him. Then we do our lunges and then we go to the rower and I sit down and he jacks my damper setting up to 10. And this was just what we did throughout the whole thing. Things like that. We were singing, we were kind of dancing as we went, and we did synchronized box overs together. Like so, it was perfectly in
Mhm.
sync. We were right on the money with that. That wasn't even planned, but it looked gorgeous. Like it was
So wait, you guys
beautiful.
were racing each other. You're not talking about as team.
No, we were well, technically, yes, we were not racing each other, but we were
Oh,
racing each other. Two
mhm.
separate times. It was not a team. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
just goofing around, having a good time. And man, it was a blast.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was like running an open OCR just for shits and
Yeah.
giggles and doing all the obstacles over and over again. And oh
Hmm.
yeah, we had to get out of the way of Rye a couple times. She was running a competitive race, and we are like, oh, whoa, get out of the way, let her go, let her go.
Mhm.
So we had a lot. It was so much fun, and I think we took like 30 minutes
For a
just
mile or strong?
for a mile, for
Okay.
a mile, and we just had a blast. We just had a great time, and it was so much fun. One of my favorite decas I've done so far. Just running with your buddy, goofing around, having
Yeah.
good fun.
Mhm.
Earning your medals and stuff. And it was still hard. Like, you're still like you're doing those 20 burpees with that ruck on and yeah, you feel it, you know.
Hmm. The
So
burpees I felt more than anything. I felt relatively unaffected by the ruck until the burpees.
for me, the spot it hits me most is actually early on. It's the lunges and the box.
Oh, yeah, I felt it was
Yeah, like
five.
I mean, I still like I can do 40-second lunges with it on and stuff like that. But it just those are the spots I notice it the most.
Hmm.
Like the bike, it's not existent. The you know
Yeah.
like the rower. I don't know if you notice this, but like a little bit, it kind of pulls you back, and you kind of like the first couple of strokes, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, that feels a little
Yeah.
weird, and you kind of your body just naturally adjusts the way you do your stroke. Skier,
Yeah.
you don't even notice it. If anything, it can almost help on the skier because it pulls down with more weight.
Hmm.
The sit-ups I think the sit-ups are easier than the med ball sit-ups because it's easier to grab.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Rye said the same thing. She feels the same way about it.
Yeah.
Transition sucks obviously because you got to put it on and off.
Yeah. But
But yeah, I enjoy doing the rough one. I enjoy it.
you just can't. You just have to. You're more in control in the run. Like you can't just open up and run. So
No,
I think
and
in some ways that was like for me, anyways, my heart rate really didn't ever spike because I couldn't
mm,
get running.
yeah,
Except on
yeah.
the bike when I was, the bike just sucks anyways. But that was really the only time where, yeah, because you're just so you have to just pace everything so differently.
Oh, I forgot. I also pantsed Neely on the run too in the ruck.
Like on purpose or
Yeah, he
accidentally?
was judging, so as I ran by the judging, I just gave his shorts a little tug. Not a hard one. It's not like I dropped him to his ankles, just a little one to know we were
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So, and yeah, I think on our bike, I spent the whole time chatting with Zach. So, but it was great fun. yeah, I enjoy it. Here's something, and I'll put this out there for people out there because this is a question that I've gone back and forth with Bethany and with Rye and everyone, and I'm like, I'm being the head referee at Worlds, and I'm going to be qualified for the Ruck Strong, which obviously is the elite because there's no age group for Ruck. I was very happy about this, and this was probably going to be my A race. But if I do it, I'll have like 6 minutes to get ready for the start of the women's elite strong relay. Should I do it, or should I just skip that and maybe just do something else that day, or do nothing at all? So I'm putting that out there. If anyone has an opinion or whatever, what they think I should do, please let me know. Obviously, I have time to decide, but
Mhm.
um, but yeah, it's weighing on me, and I'm not sure. Like, I mean, you tell me, what do you think I should do?
I mean, this we're half like partway through the season now, and this is new, you
Mhm.
being the head judge, and you have been training, and this has been, your heart has been set on this ruck race. So I think you should race. You'll have time to get there to the start line. Like,
But,
you don't get to hang out in zone 11. You got to
yeah,
get up and you got to get to the start line, but you'll have time. And I think you should go for it.
and
If
by the
next
way,
season, if they're like, you're the head judge, this, and then that's your primary focus,
well, if
for the
that's the case,
season,
then I'm just going to make them adjust the schedule for me. No,
it's
and
all about Dave now.
by the way, DEKA has told me, feel free, do what you like, do what you got to do, right? So
Yeah.
there are other employees for DEKA who race as well. To be honest, I think Yancey may be the only one who does not. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain
Well,
on
and
that,
Nancy does
but
race sometimes.
sometimes, but he's not going to race at Worlds anyway. Yeah,
No, no,
so
of course not.
I'm given full grant, and like I said, I can't be expected to catch every race because I just can't be in so many spots at once. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
Well, and
I'm
really,
curious what
your
people think.
job isn't necessarily like your job is to make overall calls.
Yeah, yeah, to kind of supervise and make overall calls. Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, and yeah. So, but I'm curious as to what people think, and what, like. So I don't often ask for opinions, but I'd like to know. I'd like to know. Um, so you want to hear about some of my other races from the weekend?
Okay.
All right. So the main one for us this weekend was supposed to be Juan and Mine's Mile. We were hoping to
Mhm.
go in and put in, and if you've seen my Instagram, you already know this, but whatever, I can repeat myself. We were supposed to go in and we wanted to improve our qualifying time. Our qualifying time's safe. We're good. But we wanted to go and improve and see where we were at. And everything fell apart. Like
Well,
everything.
I saw your Instagram video now that you mention it, and there was a lot of little mess ups just in the couple clips that you
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah. So first lap, last corner of the first lap, Juan tweaks his quad. Like literally the point where he goes around the corner and Zach was judging us and Riley was videoing us, and you heard Juan go fuck, like it was noticeable. He started to limp for a couple
Oh
strides
my,
right after, and Riley said, Zach goes, oh, that is not good. And immediately when I saw this happen, because I'm running behind Juan, I'm like, Juan, we just started. Let's quit. It, you know, if you're hurt, there's no point in
yeah.
doing this. And he's like, no, no, I'm good. I'm good. Let's go. Let's go. I'm like, okay. We finish the lap. We go into the lunges. He does about, I think it's 12, 13 lunges. And he comes up, oh, like lame. So I take the ram and I finish the lunges and then I run the next lap and he's on the rower and we go. And and I said this in the post that, Juan has this unbelievable drive and stuff where I said he's cursed with a certain amount of insanity that's somewhere between bravery and
Stupidity.
stupidity. Yeah, but there's no quitting the dude. Like we
Mhm.
all were like, dude, let's call it.
Yeah.
We're not going to PR today, right? There's nothing to be gained,
Yeah.
right? He would not have it. And at one point, I said, like, dude, I'm just going to quit. And then you got no choice. And he's like, we don't quit. I'm like, all right, man. In for a penny, in
Yeah.
for a pound. Okay. I've tried. Let's go.
Mhm.
Um, and he pushed. And so he pushed on his runs. And honestly, when I went back and looked at the splits, he was maybe a second, maybe 2 seconds slower on his average lap compared to our last run through. So he kept pushing. So we get so we have that with the lunges, and all of a sudden I got to do lunges, which I wasn't expecting to do. So that puts a little more, and so I'm going from lunge into run, put a little more, early burnout on me, or a little more
Mhm.
early gas. We get the rower where our plan is to switch at 250. We go to switch at 250. His foot gets stuck and he doesn't get the strap undone all the way. I can't get my foot in. We lose 10 seconds there. So we go on from there. Everything's good. Um, Box overs are fine. Sit ups are good. Um, ski wasn't as good as normal because I was more gassed because I had to do the lunges and the run I wasn't expecting. So, I kind of, I have what I'm expecting to do. I had to do more, so a little more gas, and it wasn't horrible, but my pace is off by 3 seconds, 4 seconds compared to what it normally would be. So I should have had Juan do more of that because the quad doesn't hurt him on that one, and I was getting more and more gassed. But we did that. We stuck with it. Farmer carry great. Get on the bike, transition on the bike, and Juan he's going to do like 12, and then I'm going to finish with 13 or whatever the case may be. Juan does his. He gets off, and I jump on, and the bike shuts off, and we're like trying to figure out to get it to go, and blah, blah, it takes like 15 seconds to get it figured out and going. And then again, like I'm starting from the start, so it's not already pedaling and getting the roll. So we're going,
Mhm.
and of course, we watched the video later and we find it is my fault that the bike
You hit
shut
a
off.
button,
When I jumped on, my hand slipped, and you can see it in the video, and it like cracked the screen. And we're assuming that I
it
must have hit a
bounced.
button.
Yeah.
I must have hit a button there. So there was that, and that's great. So we lose time there, and then we're going again, and then we get to the tank, and the second or third round in, the tank strap buggers off, and it gets stuck in, and we can only use one strap after that.
Yeah, I saw one
Uh,
pulling tank with
yeah,
one
one pulled with
strap.
one, and then you see me go down, and I reach and I tried to get the second one, but it's jammed up. There's no good, so we just go with the one strap, and just one of those deals where everything that could go wrong did. Our burpees were solid.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it was one of those days, and we took away from it. What we took away from it was okay. There's our floor. So needless to say, we did not PR. We missed our PR by 18 seconds. But there's our floor,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's
And
not that bad. 18 seconds off.
no, no, it's not. It's not terrible, right? And we know, and quite frankly, me, like I'm not. I've been focusing on strength to get my strength up, and now from here to Worlds, the point is to bring in the cardio, right? Not that I'm
Hmm.
not doing cardio, but now to really focus on that to get that engine going and everything. So
Yeah.
I was not expecting to be peak here,
Yeah. No.
and I do believe that had things gone well, we would have PR'd
Hmm.
quite handily. So that was great. So we took away from it, hey, we're good. Everything's pretty sound. We did take away some strategy changes we're going to change, and yeah, there's our floor. Now we need to find out at Worlds what our ceiling is,
Hmm. Well, I
and
think it's good sometimes for things to go bad in races when, especially the races that don't matter, because then you also learn how to stay cool
mhm,
when, the strap breaks or whatever. Like
yeah,
it's part of the game sometimes because sometimes it can happen when big races hit and to not get flustered or, you can just in your mind, yeah, you've been there before. So, and you still were only 18 seconds off of your personal best. So you can rally and get through it.
yeah. And there were some curse words when things went wrong, like just like fuck, shit like that. But
Yeah.
there was never a damper in effort or spirit. It was always
Yeah.
just okay, shit, fuck, that happened. Let's go.
Yeah. Move on. Yeah.
Yeah, move on. And so
It
it's
is
good.
what it
So
is, right?
yeah, so it's good. We're in good shape. We're gonna look good for Worlds. And we're still a year ahead of schedule, so we're all right. Um, so that was good. And then what my other races? So my other races, like I said, I worked with John with the Ruck Mile. Then I did a race with Mike Zurich, Chelsea's
Mhm.
husband. We did a strong together, and man, I loved racing with Mike. It was a blast. That dude's awesome, and he is underrated. He's getting
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Smooth box overs, like just he's getting good. He's getting good. He's a great teammate, and we went out hot, so hot. I don't know what his lunges were, but they had to be, I'm going to say 30, low 30s, maybe 30 even. I did a PR on the row. Very excited. 128 on the row.
Wow.
So I was really happy with that. And then we flew through, and then I think like we were on a massive clip, and then it just seemed like we just ran out of gas in the tank. The pushes were going great, but the pulls not so much. And even me on the dead balls, I was a little sloppy. Mike had to carry the weight on the dead balls. And then the tank, we were pretty good. And then I think finally Mike looked like he was a little tired on the burpees and stuff. But we put in a good time. We put in a qualifying time.
Yeah.
But I don't actually think we're going to use it. But but we put in a
Yeah.
qualifying time and had a lot of fun with it. And it was nice to mix it up a little bit. And Mike's a guy I really like. We see him around all the time, so it was nice
Yeah.
to team up with him and stuff. And he's just
Hmm.
a super cool dude.
Yeah.
Um, so that was a lot of fun. And then I had a very impromptu relay. So Patty and Charla, who they are from Pure Impact and they dominate. I think they're very much on top of the leaderboard for the women's strong for 100 to 119. She comes up to me and she goes, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 48." She's like, "That works. Want to run a relay?" I'm like, hell, why not? Let's
Will
go.
do.
Why not? Let's go. Let's go. So, by the way, she had already run a relay earlier in the day or the day before with Bubbles, and she just runs,
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
going. She's super fun. So we go for it, and she makes our strategy, and she's like, I need you to do the lunges because she's got, I think, anything going on, right? And she's like, so I can't do that. I'm like, no problem, no problem. And she's like, I know you're good on the road, but I'll do part of it. I'm like, great, because I don't think I have another 500 in me.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so we did it, and again, we had a blast. There were points where I was telling her like, I hate you, Patty. This is terrible. And I had probably the worst bike of worst bike I can remember. I'll put it that way. Um, like it was to the point where I was ready to get off and tell Bethany to get on with the seat digging in her back again.
Oh man.
Yeah, like I think I was like 85, 90 seconds on
Mm.
there on a relay, which is just really bad, even like
Yeah.
really bad for me. But we again we put in a call time,
Mm.
and like again, I don't think we're using it because she'll be racing with
Yeah.
Charla. But so much fun, and just another great person in the community that I just uh, just great to run. And before this weekend, I had pretty much been like, I run with Rye or I run with you and I ran together so much and ran with Jeff a lot, and now Juan
Hmm.
and John and stuff. But I really, really got a kick out of this just random impromptu team ups that were so much fun. Riley again did the same thing this weekend too. You teamed up with who'd you team up with this weekend?
Renee
So
Hines.
Renee Hines, which was just on the spot. They went
Hmm.
and did a mile and put in a great time,
Tammy.
and then Tammy from RAMFit.
Oh
That
yeah.
just
Okay.
like right late in the day. All right, let's go. Let's do a strong, and
Hmm.
it's almost
You know,
like
it
a
would be really interesting if you planned like a race weekend, but it was like random pairings, like you
oh,
draw people's names out of a
I
hat
like it.
and
That's
then see
fantastic.
what happens.
That would be all right. Like let everybody do it like at the end of the day. So let everybody do their
Yeah,
races,
yeah.
and
Like the
then at the end
morning
of the
is
day,
the serious stuff, and then everyone throws their names in a hat, and then you pick out the relay partners.
all right. Can we call it Bethany's DEKA Swingers? Everybody throw their car keys in a bowl.
Yeah, see you.
All you do is relay. That's it. There's nothing more
Yeah.
involved. That would be a riot, though. That would be
Yeah,
a lot of
that'd be
fun.
so fun.
Well, I know someone who owns a DEKA gym.
Yeah. Yes. Who may have just renovated it and has lots more space now.
May have more space. Might be down for something like that. Would be an
Idea,
absolute
actually.
copyright. Copyright the idea. DEKA swingers. It will,
Is that what we're calling it?
dude. Oh, we could make some upside down pineapple patches.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be fantastic. Oh, everyone would so have the wrong idea. I love it.
Oh man.
I think we need to make it happen. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Okay, I really like this
The
idea
next
though.
event, we got to do it. We got to do it.
Okay.
Right? Do you even hear the idea around? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a regular DEKA event, right? And at the end, we're gonna do uh, DEKA relay swingers, where everybody's name who's willing puts their name into a pot, and you just randomly pick out your partners, and then away you go. But it's just relay. There's
Just
no
the
other
race.
swinger stuff going on, just the race. Although we want to make patches with
But
upside down pineapples.
but that's where the prizes could be,
What?
like with the swingers.
Yeah, what's the prizes?
I don't know.
What could prizes be? Again, pineapples. Got to be
What you
pineapples.
end up with?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's something
what you can.
pineapple related. Oh, that sounds so fun.
I think it'd be great. I would love it because
I'm not wearing a patch that says swinger.
Rye says she won't wear a patch that says swingers on it
No patch.
with an upside down pineapple. Yeah. Um, I will say that, like I said, I had what I was getting at earlier is obviously I knew Mike before we've talked, and I knew Patty before we've had little chats, but and especially with Patty this weekend, it was a really good chance to get to know somebody in the community and get to have a good time and a good talks. And I never really looked at it that way before. And by the way, Patty, thank you so much for asking because I had an absolute blast and I would do it again and again and again, a heartbeat. So there's another thing. If you go to an event and you're like, I'm here, I don't know anybody, whatever, just randomly ask somebody to team up.
Partner doesn't show.
Yep. If your partner doesn't show, just hey, I need a fill in. Somebody jump on board here.
Somebody
Yeah.
will.
Someone will take it. Someone will take it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've told the farm girls before when we were getting some of them to relay. I wrote on the board because we had a little board where it was if you need a teammate or looking for a teammate or whatever. I just put on we'll partner with anyone for a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm all for it. The DEKA swinger relay.
Mhm.
It's great. It's good.
I love it.
Okay, instead of a pineapple, maybe we can put car keys on there or something.
Car keys.
Yeah, because that like you put swingers put the car keys in a bowl.
Oh, I don't know the rules around swingers.
How do you know?
What's that?
How do you know?
I watch movies. Why? Like at least I know she doesn't watch movies. You at least watch movies. I thought for sure you would see that. Anyway. All right.
Anyways, it's a good idea. If
It's
we
a
don't
great
call it
idea.
swingers, we'll think of something else.
I thought they did that at parties where you drank.
It could be DEKA Russian roulette
Ooh,
or DEKA roulette.
I like that.
Yeah, sure.
No way. People will want the swingers back.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think it's a great idea and I think it has to happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. What else do we have?
So I was thinking about the ruck too.
Okay.
For anyone who's never done a ruck, there were a couple things that I did learn the hard way. Even though I did message Brooklyn, who's a very good rucker, to get some tips. And some things I remembered, some things I forgot. But the row, unbuckle at least the top one because I found it really hard to breathe on the row because
Yes.
you're hunched more forward, so it presses in on your stomach. And then the one that I wish I had practiced with the ruck because it went a little bit haywire was the ball over shoulders because I usually bring it to my shoulder and then I step and I let it roll down my back. So it kept hitting the ruck and then going in random directions. So I kind of had to then like find the ball every time. And one time I like tripped on it and almost fell. So the ball
I
over,
did the same.
yeah, the ball overs felt like a little bit of chaos. And then the burpees, again, I mentioned it being the most difficult, and I think maybe if I had a ruck that fit me differently, but I could not figure out how to get it to stop hitting me in the back of the head.
So I will say that's just come down to fit because my ruck was so dialed in for fit. I did my burpees and
Bend your knees
it
more.
didn't move. Rye says bend your knees more. Keep your butt down.
Kind of squat a little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
more
found that if I stepped, it wasn't too bad.
yes,
But
it's better if you step, but if the more you
yeah,
can keep your butt down, the less it'll shimmy forward. But if you have that
yeah, I
waist
don't like
strap,
to bend my back that much.
yeah, if you have your waist strap put in proper like fitted right,
Yeah.
for me, it was so anchored in there. It didn't move. And like my burpees, it felt really, really good on mine. I mean, I was flying through them, but it was moving very smoothly. I was able to jump up and down for all of them, like no issues.
Yeah.
So it's about a lot of adjustment. I did find, like you said, though, I started the first runs with the waist belt on to try to keep it more secure, and then I took it off to just make breathing again easier and more comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do things like I keep the waist belt, I keep the chest one on all the time. I never found it to be a problem.
So
But
the chest was at my belly.
yeah, okay, that's a
So
problem.
it wasn't actually at my chest. So I did.
Again, we got to find one that fits a little better. But
Yeah.
Titan 6 actual, Bethany McChesney,
Yeah.
number two qualifier for the Ruck Mile, could use a
Yeah.
size extra small ruck,
Extra small. Yeah.
extra small ruck. Uh, child size, yes, yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
But that's a couple things that I learned. But
yeah, I mean, anyway, it was a good experience though, right? And we had Jeff, he put in a run there, and then and your boy Mason came in.
yeah, my son really this weekend was about getting Mason a qualifying time for Worlds because he didn't have one yet for the mile for this year, I don't think. Or it wasn't very fast. It was from maybe a year ago, and he's really put in the work over the summer and grown about a foot, so that helps him. So we wanted to get him a time to qualify him for Worlds because he really does want to go. So that was the goal, and I think he took about 90 seconds off of his time. So
You just the look of him, even like
mhm.
strength wise, seeing him move, it's so different from like even the beginning of the year when we did RX1, where
Yeah,
like just his movement is so much better and looks so much stronger.
yeah, he's really this summer. And again, every parent who has a kid, and we live in the gym and we love this stuff. It's There's always this fine balance with pushing your kid, but not too much, and it has to come from them. And that's really where I've always been with my kids too, is I want it to come from them ultimately. And this summer, for whatever reason, it just kind of clicked with him where he was really about training and he wanted to get stronger. And he would come to the gym, like he'd ride his bike there, and he made it a priority on his own. Um, so it's been purely intrinsic for him. And yeah, it's made such a difference. He's such a different kid athletically, strong, and he's gone through a big growth spurt. And usually when kids go through that growth spurt, they get a little bit like
A little awkward.
nappy and wobbly and like bandy legs. And because he at the same time was really getting into lifting, he carries his body well now. So yeah, he's a different kid, I think, even from 4 or 5 months ago. So
And did he get the qual time?
yeah, so his time based on the leaderboard right now puts him fifth. So
Nice. And I don't imagine that there'll be that big of a drop from we're done, right? This is it. Quals are done.
yeah,
So
I just don't know how many events haven't been inputted because my
a
event that I did at
lot.
the beginning of the summer hasn't been inputted. Well, I think it just did this weekend. So yeah, when everything kind of gets put in there, we'll see how things fall. But I'm assuming he'll be fine.
Yeah, I would think so too at that position. So I mean, really awesome, and that's good. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, so that's it, right? Everything's not inputted, but the hay's in the barn.
Yeah.
It is what it is now. There's nothing you can do after.
No more swinging.
No more swinging. No more swinging for the fences. That was it. This was the last swing. And I don't know. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I've
Hmm.
got, I've got the races I wanted to do. I think it's going to be a good time.
Hmm.
Um, the one goal I will say, Ryan and I were hoping to qualify at the beginning of the year. We would need a good roll down for that to happen. Didn't quite have it this year, so next year we'll get better.
Hmm.
Um, but other than that, I like where we're at. I like where it's going. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And I think one thing that I did get out of this year is there's some good battles I'm looking forward to having with some good friends. Mostly Tim Amazing. Tim Amazing and I, we're gonna have to. I hope we get to race each other because he is
Hmm.
so much fun for me to race. I love racing that guy.
Hmm.
Win or lose, I don't give a shit. I just like racing him. He's a great guy.
Hmm.
Another shout out for Tim.
And we had a big world record this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to go with that?
Yeah, I don't know the names, but
So I
the
only
men's
laughed because I did the live show before this, and I could not remember their names either. But
I
it is,
know. But two
yeah,
guys did set the world record in men's doubles for the strong. And just checking out who they are, it seems very legit. Like high rocks athletes, they, very two powerful big dudes. So yeah.
yeah, and I mean it. The one guy I have not. I'll be honest, he's new to me. I don't know him. But oh my God, and we just went through their names.
Oh, their name.
Hmm.
Hold on.
Yeah, Rye's getting it. She had to do this earlier. He's not new. He's been around.
Yeah.
I believe he's been in the strong final last year. Um, so yeah, it's not these guys have the pedigree,
Oh, yeah.
right?
And
Now,
it's just gonna make
I
like
think
these doubles races were so exciting to watch last year at Worlds, and with our Canadian crew, Jamie and Connor Bell, it was all so close, and
mhm.
with
Yeah.
Bubbles and AJ, and so we're just like we're throwing another team in there, and
Yeah,
it's
so it's
getting so exciting.
Caleb Yates and Lalo Contreras.
Okay,
So Caleb has been around.
I do
He's
recognize the name
Yeah,
Caleb Yates.
Caleb
Yeah.
Caleb is not new on the scene. He's been around
Hmm.
for a while. He's really well respected and he's an absolute monster.
Hmm.
Especially it's like I consider it especially on the machines. Like when I think of a guy that can really throw down, especially on the skier, he's a beast. And Lalo, I do not know, but he looks like a monster as well. So yeah, the
Yeah.
chops are there. It is what it is. I still stand by. I would love to see videos be mandatory for world records and stuff. But no, I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't doubt these guys have. I don't doubt these guys, right?
Hmm.
They have what it takes, and whether you doubt the world record or not really doesn't matter very much. What matters is these guys belong in the fight at Worlds
Yeah.
and are legitimate threats. And I look
Hmm.
forward, like you say, having another kick ass team in the mix is
Yeah.
that race is going to come down to seconds. Like it's going to come where every little transition is going to matter.
Hmm.
And Ryan's just like, I don't want to judge it. So, yeah, like a no rep could mean the difference from podium, like even like a second place to a fourth,
Yeah.
right? So it's um it's gonna be very exciting.
Hmm.
Very exciting. I I mean we both said this. The relays, they're just so much fun
They're so much fun.
to
Yeah.
watch and to be like I still say my favorite to watch of any hybrid event is the mile relay. My favorite to watch. And the co-ed one specifically, the one you and I were in. I think
Yeah.
it's the most fun to watch. The strategy
Yeah.
and the speed of it and the transitions, it's a ride. It's awesome.
So, and speaking of doubles races, now Hyrox has just released the Elite 15 for doubles, which I was reading up a little bit on it. And the interesting thing is they're not doing a mixed doubles. So it
Because the
is
mixed
just
doubles are flawed.
flood.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. You
Um,
sorry, I interrupted. You finish your thought. My bad. Sorry.
yeah, so it's two women, two men. So there's not the mixed doubles.
Okay.
Um, and it's at the pro weight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know that's fantastic. I think
I love it.
yeah, it's great. So again, there's strategy involved, and again, because with high rocks you have to do all the running together, you got to be two good runners. So you're not having like your strong athlete and your runner athlete like we have in the fit and the mile. Um, yeah, you have to have some two solid runners in the mix. So we're gonna see some really fast times throwing down.
Again, I think this might be like I'm looking forward to watching the doubles more than the solo.
Hmm.
I know many people are asking why I'm putting myself down like I won't make it, but no, I'm really looking forward to watching the doubles. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm so glad they did it. I don't know if I want to say overdue, but it belongs because the doubles is so popular. Like I think the doubles is the biggest selling division for High Rocks, and it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be great.
Hmm.
And here's the thing: the one question that seems to come around is should the Elite 15 be allowed to go or not? That's the question being asked. What side of it or not you're on? I mean, Well, before I ask, what do you think?
Um, yes. Again,
Yeah.
because the Elite 15 is still a fluid group of people. So someday someone may or may not, and it's not like, again, and we've talked about this before with, although the Elite 15 is a little bit more defined,
Yeah.
than, people that make the Elite 15 in DEKA. But yes, they should be able to. Absolutely. So if
Yeah.
they're racing Elite 15 and they're going to do a doubles, that's a lot of racing in one day. And then
Well,
they
it
can,
might not be one day, right? It might be over 2, 3 days, right?
yeah.
Because Worlds is generally at least 2 days.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it could be 3 days where you might see the solo one day, the doubles the next day, and then the relay on the third day.
Yeah. Let
But
them race.
I, I agree. And here's the thing, some people might be surprised that I say that because I'm the guy I like some new blood. I want to see some different people. I want to do that, right? But and it was actually Anthony Parasini who pointed this out. If every member of the Elite 15 goes in the doubles, you're still going to have another 7 different teams
Hmm.
of new people.
Yeah. Well, and the Elite 15, the, that group of athletes also, they're so good because they can do a full high rocks solo. And, you get different people than in the doubles who might have higher top end running speed. And
Mm.
because they get that break when they're taking the break in the stations, they can do better. So, like, being really good at high rocks on your own involves also a different type of athlete necessarily. So I think it's going to be fantastic either way. If you get the elites in there and they can pair up, and that's fine. And then you get other athletes in there who might have different strengths, and especially like the really high end runners.
Well, I'm looking at too, like you think of, okay, so we had Hunter and Sandy, who we know have done doubles before and are great. And then you could have, and another team who's done doubles and shown that they're right up there, maybe just as good, if not faster, would be Rich Ryan and Paleo, who have put in great times.
Right.
Whereas, Rich and
Two
Paleo,
really good runners.
yeah, whereas those two guys, individually might not be able to
Yeah,
go with Hunter and Sandy, but you put them as a team, and all of a sudden it's a fight.
exactly. Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that too. When I went back to the flawed co-ed thing, and we discussed this on the live stream, on the live show, but if you missed it, I said it's flawed, and this is why I don't think it's in there, is because if you look at it, Alex Ronkovich's open time, which is the weights you would use for co-ed, is actually faster than Alex Ronkovich's co-ed record time. So he's faster on his own than he is with a co-ed partner.
Because his run slows down.
Yeah. And so what it would basically come down to is um whoever's the fastest open guy that finds
Has a
someone
female that can keep
who
up
is
with
a
him.
female that can run 8 1,000s with him.
Yeah.
And I think that is a flawed system because I love co-ed relays. They're my favorites. I just said the mile co-ed's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I would like to see High Rocks figure out a way to make it so that it's more of a real true team effort. And I don't really know how to do that.
Yeah, unless you require the female to do half of the stations.
It's so hard to monitor that and make that
Yeah,
actually a,
exactly.
a, a stickable thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they could take the stance of DEKA where only one person runs at a time, but that's a complete change. And I don't
Yeah.
see them doing that. I would sooner see them mandate that the women have to do a certain amount of stuff. I mean, could you mandate women's zones? Would that be crazy? I'm really just spitballing here because I do not have a good answer.
Yeah, you could. Or even if the women had to do 25% of every station. But then you have someone that has to watch that.
It's hard
And I
enough to
feel
judge
like,
as it is.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe female stations like
Maybe wall
pushes.
balls,
Yeah.
stuff like I don't know. I mean, whatever. Anyway, I think before my point being, I think before High Rocks makes a co-ed championship, I think they need to iron out that system. And my personal opinion is I think that's why it was not included this year,
Yeah.
was because it's not quite ready yet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's thing. There was some more stuff, but you know what? I think we've actually gone on enough. There's some more high rock stuff we'll talk about maybe next week or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
there's new rules,
Yes.
some stuff like that's great. All right, all the other rules don't matter. There's one rule, one big rule that's different.
The one that really matters.
Okay, yeah, let her fly.
100 wall balls for open women.
Oh, I thought it was the step over the line for the lunges. No, I'm
I
kidding.
thought that was already a rule.
It should have been. No, yeah, it's the 100 wall balls.
That's really what you're talking about?
No, 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 no. I'm fucking with you. So yeah, so 100 wall balls instead of 75 for women open. Um, again, it makes logical sense. I have no idea why it wasn't there before.
Yeah, you gave them a lighter ball and
Yeah,
less. So
yeah.
just give them a lighter ball. 100
Especially
balls.
when all throughout the rest of the race, all the reps were the same.
That,
And nowhere, it's not like they gave less ski or everything was the same. And then all of a sudden there was so it makes sense.
yeah.
Here's the only question, and I do not have the answer for it because I haven't had time to research it yet. Did anybody from Open already qualify for age group worlds doing 75 wall balls?
So they had said it had to do with placement, not time.
I get that, and it does, but it's still changing a rule, like a very big change, kind of midstream. And granted, we've given other people shit for this, so I just think the shit list should be at least even. You could definitely say that it wouldn't matter because all the women that qualified were all doing 75 wall balls, so they want an even playing field. But changing it from 75 to 100 changes the game. And if you're a woman who is really great at wall balls, you might have had an advantage and been able to theoretically gain a spot because you had 25 more wall balls to catch up, right? It's no different than if we had changed the running distance. Well, maybe the running distance might be, let's say the erg distance, instead of doing 1,000s, now we're doing 500s. You change the game for people who maybe were, didn't have an advantage or, would now that would change who gets a better advantage out of the zone. So
Yeah, I don't think it's that dramatic. So maybe
no,
I'm, you know,
it's not the end of the world. I
35
just like to say
and we're still pretty far away from Worlds.
yeah,
It should have probably been implemented. Last year's Worlds is done. Next season starting. Yes, it should have been. But I mean, we're not 3 months out from Worlds. We still have a significant amount of time. So
yeah, yeah. And like I said, I'm not going to harp on it too much. I just thought that it would have been nice if they had, yes, done it before. And especially because I think this one is one they should have seen coming for 6 years.
yeah. Well, and I always trained my open women athletes with 100 ball balls.
There you go.
Because I'm like, you guys are gonna move up to pro someday anyway, so just train them.
There you go. Nice. So yeah, that's the only one. The rest of them, to be honest, were just cleaning up some wording, and most of them were absolutely made sense and just great. There
Yeah,
was there's no
yeah. Some of them I actually thought were rules before, like
yeah.
stepping
The
over the
the
line.
only other one that I was a little bit like, man. So the burpee one is your feet need to be parallel for your
When you take
takeoff.
off. Yeah,
And so again, if I'm wording, I'm like parallel to what?
each other.
Because yeah, but anyway, parallel to each other is kind of weird, right? Because even if I'm crooked, I'm still parallel. So
Oh,
I need,
they just
I
have to
would
be
have,
in line. Yeah, so no
I would
staggered
have put
step.
parallel to the start line of the zone. Would have been what I would say. Anyway, doesn't matter. Everybody understands it. Only people like me who goofily care about this stuff would actually use it as an opportunity to cheat. But the one I didn't understand is why you have to have your feet land in parallel. I mean, I don't really see that as a big advantage to not land with your feet side by side.
Yeah,
I just didn't know why that would be warranted.
it says that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to think of why you wouldn't land with them pretty close.
yeah. Like
Because
I don't know, just say someone's got a foot that just
I guess if
drags
you land
behind.
with one foot and then you shoot your other foot out.
So you're saying I jump, I land with my right, and almost take a step with my left.
Yes. Like,
Okay,
oh, I'm falling.
I'll buy that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll buy that. That works.
Might not feel good.
Yeah, I know it might not feel good, but I'll buy that as a thing. You
Yeah.
know.
Obviously, someone's done it for them to think about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nope, I'm good with that. I like it. I'll take
Mhm.
it. Good rule. Now I'm okay with it. Bethany solved it. All right. Yeah, I'm good. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, all right. I do want to say, and I'll give a shout out to RAMFit again, who provide all the RAMs for this weekend and stuff for the DEKA event that I was at Pure Impact. It was great. It's awesome. And yeah, so if you need a RAM, check it out. They got a new 66-pound one, and they got hand straps so that you can use them for like a sandbag or for doing like cleans and presses and such like that. They work out
Mhm.
good. So check out RAMFit Canada or RAMFit anything. Yeah, Beth, let's get us out of here. Let's drink and be gone.
Yeah, thanks so much everyone for listening, and congrats to everyone that threw down this weekend. Final weekend for our DEKA times to get in for Worlds. So can't wait to see those times roll out. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a good week.
And congrats to everybody who did qualify. Take care.